Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Such a Wild, a.k.a. Coach Bird, and I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE Show. Cousin Tracy?
What's up?
Now, we gotta say this before we get started, before we introduce our special guest here, you know what I'm saying? Cousin Tracy is straight from Georgia, you know what I'm saying? When'd your flight get in, like 6 o'clock or something?
6:30.
You know what I'm saying? So this is why I love my cousin, the dedication and the commitment, you know what I'm saying? off the plane and in the cage.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? In the cage. How was it out there?
Quiet, peaceful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no place I would move because
Right.
I think I'm so used to the Camden City, Philly hustle bustle.
Gotcha.
I'm not New York City.
Right.
I'm Philly, Camden City. Like, it's a difference.
It is.
Yeah, so I'm not ready for the New York hustle. I'm like Philly, Camden. So I ain't ready for country.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. Well, episode 93, you know what I'm saying? Episode 93. If you
92.
don't know, oh, you're right. I'm tripping.
92, we had
one last year.
Yeah, one of them didn't make the editor's cut for some reason.
That's right. I take that back. This is episode 92. Right, episode 92. If you don't know who we have sitting on the couch in the cage today, you're about to find out. First of all, I just appreciate you sliding through.
Yeah,
this is big.
It's long overdue, man.
Yeah, we've been at it.
My apologies.
No, it's all good.
I took too long,
Hey,
man.
it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm thankful.
Good.
I'm thankful.
You know
Listen,
what I'm saying?
I'm thankful.
It's all good. You are here. You know what I'm saying? 97.5, the Fanatics own. You know what I'm saying? Sixers insider and all that good stuff. And we're going to talk about all that good stuff.
Sure.
But my good friend DEVON Givens is here in the cage with us today.
Yeah.
And, we definitely appreciate it.
Thanks
man.
for having me. I appreciate it.
definitely.
I check it out all the time. So
that's what's up.
I'm glad
That's
to be a
what's
part of 92.
92.
92.
Episode 92.
Episode 92. So we're going to put this one in the books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Episode 92. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Hey, let's just hop right into it because, you know, Cousin Tracy, I know she's tired.
Fresh off the plane.
You know what I'm saying? You've been on the air
Long day,
earlier.
yeah.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. For those that don't know, you know what I'm saying? Let's just start with a little bit about your background, like where you're from, high school, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, Cousin Tracy talked about it, the hustle and bustle of Philly. So West Philly for me, the Winfield section of West Philly.
Okay.
So that's where I grew up.
Okay.
And that's why I spent a lot of time, of course.
Right.
Growing up there in the city.
Okay.
And I ventured out of my area for high school, though.
Okay.
I went to Roxborough High School.
Okay.
Instead of going to Overbrook.
Okay.
I
Right.
said, all right, everybody goes to our school. So I'm getting out of the neighborhood.
Gotcha.
I'm going to venture out a little bit. My cousin was out there, so he already had a little info on the school. So it was like, let's go out there and try something different. And it was good. It worked out for me.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
You played ball there?
I
I'm
did.
Sure?
Yeah, all 4 years played ball there. He plays, so I followed. I followed him. Yeah, so he was the star of the team there, and I followed him. Try to make my own path, following him, but create my own path and get out of the neighborhood and all that stuff. So it was cool. Worked out.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
that's what's up. College after that, or
I went to college. I went to Lincoln University for my first 2 years. My daughter was born, so left school and did community for a little bit. Then I found my way into the workforce early.
I got you.
And as I did that, I found my way into Connecticut School of Broadcasting over here in Cherry Hill.
Gotcha. Yes,
and that's how I got my start with the Fanatic and all, and internship.
And did they change the name for some reason? I thought they changed
changed
the sound, right?
Yeah, something else. Yeah.
They'd be sending me emails.
What's the name of the place?
It was Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Yeah.
I'll be getting emails. I think it's something different now, but yeah.
Oh, they see you out here. They want to get you.
I see. I mean, I'll take it.
Give you a scholarship.
You know what I'm saying? I'll take it.
Yeah, I need one of those.
You need one of those? Yeah.
We will definitely take it. That's what's up. When you came through high school and all of that, like what was West Philly? What was going on then? Like,
West Philly was fun.
Okay.
You have your stuff of growing up in the neighborhood and all that stuff, but for the most part, it was fun.
Okay.
It's totally different from what it is now.
Right.
And especially with the way you just communicate with people. Also, we don't have our phones and things of that nature. We had beepers back then.
Right.
That's how you had to catch it, or you had to hit us on the landline. Right.
And God forbid if your mom was on there talking to your aunt.
Yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
That's it.
Unless she was fortunate enough to have call waiting.
We had the call waiting. And as I got older, my parents were able to get me the identity ring. Where it would ring twice for me. Like, that kind of thing.
No, I had a teen line.
You had the teen line? Yeah. So I had that. My mom, my dad, they hooked me up with that one.
Right.
So that was fun. But it was also, just more interpersonal skills.
Right.
Where right now it is tough. Where I always have to tell my daughters, like, hey, call your grandmother.
Right.
Call your grandfather.
Just don't text them.
Yeah, don't text them. Call them and talk to them and have a conversation. So it was fun, man. Just being able to play basketball all the time, play football, what we could do. Right. And just going through different neighborhoods and playing basketball and playing in summer leagues and all that type of stuff. Hanging out with your friends and traveling downtown, go to the gallery, hit 69th Street, go to 52nd Street, all the things that we did. Come over here a couple of times because, not a couple of times, every weekend I would venture at least once on the weekend because my people were in Williamstown.
Okay.
So I would make my way. They were here in Camden for a little bit.
Gotcha.
Made the way out to Williamstown and all of that. So
that's what's up.
West Philly was good for me. Taught me a lot. Taught me a lot. So both just growing up, making sure you knew things, but also teaching you how to do other things outside of the neighborhood too. So it all worked out.
That's what's up. Fresh Prince. From West Philly, right?
Yeah.
So we actually grew up. So Winfield, I'm from Winfield. He's from right there near Bieber Middle School, where I also went to school. So his house was always the house. His house was across the street from the school. We would see him in the neighborhood a little bit before he finally left.
Right.
Yeah, and I never ran across him personally, like that. But you would see him every now and again, just in passing. Right. And if you remember the Mike Tyson video, I think I could beat Mike Tyson. Shot that in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that was fun. Coming home from school that day.
Right.
Walking past it, like, hey, there's a lot of cameras and stuff going on over. A lot of people over there. What's going on? Him and Jeff were doing their barbershop scenes at the barbershop right there. So, and in summertime, I think in summertime when they were playing basketball, that was in the school. Okay. And his house was across the street. So that's something West Philadelphia, born and raised.
That's something kids need to get back to, playing outside.
Well, the kids in my neighborhood do. So my grandbaby, you seen it Easter. You seen it on Easter. So
true.
My granddaughter, they ride. All the kids got them SC bikes, them new expensive bikes. Yeah. I remember my granddaughters real quick. My granddaughters had got stolen last year. My daughter was like, "Oh, we look for this bike. Bike cost $700." So people was doubting how much the bike cost. Sure. So I had to jump on there like, "Yo, nah." And then it was a special order. We had to go all the way up PA somewhere to get it because the shop in Deptford had already sold theirs out to October. My grandbaby's birthday in August. Yeah. So like everybody got these SC bikes. So he was at the house Easter and we told her to go get her friend. She came back. We called him the Wolf Pack.
The Wolf Pack. Yeah, how many of those?
It was like, 12? Like,
there's a bunch of them.
Oh, that's legit.
But they
and
serious.
Look, one day my grandbaby's like, we doing a ride out. The fuck is that? What's that? She was like, we leave our neighborhood, we ride to another neighborhood, we get those kids, then we ride to another. I saw the cops gonna get y'all. Cops is definitely gonna get y'all.
How old are they?
Like 12, 13.
Okay, they're riding out.
Yeah, they riding out.
Right.
Whole bunch of kids on some bikes going from neighborhood. Oh, they gonna get you. Let me know how that works out for you. Call me.
They gonna ask some questions.
When the cops pull you over, just call me.
Call me. Hit me up.
That's funny.
What's up. That's what's up. Now, for those that don't know, you know what I'm saying, you're, like I said earlier, 97.5 The Fanatic, sports talk host on there and whatnot. And, you cover all sports, but you're heavy into the basketball situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like when did you realize like basketball would be a huge part of your life?
Early on, growing up, my cousins, my dad playing, and I following their footsteps. I'm the older sibling of my guys, and my brother and sister, and I have younger brothers also. But growing up with those two, I'm the oldest, so I'm tagging along with my cousins who are 3 years older than I am. My uncle was 5 years older than I was. Playing ball with them, playing with the older guys, all of that. Of course, I had my friends, but they would pull me in. You as a coach, you know how that goes. Yeah. So, you play with the older guys and stuff. But so, like anyone else, you start to see it and you're like, I really like this. And can we do something here?
Right.
And of course, I didn't do anything with it as far as going to the pros or anything like that, even in college. But I knew early on that was something that I was really interested in. And in sports in general. Now, basketball was number 1, football 2, baseball 3, hockey was a distant 4th, but paid attention
Got you.
to it. But that was the thing for me early on, just tagging along with my cousins, my dad, and just watching it all the time. My grandmother's a big sports fan. Okay. My mom was a big sports fan. So it was always in the house. Right. Yeah. And then they're older, so I'm playing with them.
Got you.
So I had the itch.
Right.
And it stuck with me throughout. And even up until today,
right?
How I do it now, how I do it a little differently.
And I do believe, I think he still plays. You still?
Yeah, I do.
So I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm just be honest because that's who I am.
I know. I watch.
He said, "Yo, my man Devon Givens, we're going to have him on from 97.5, right?" So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So he was like, "No," to my dude. Devon Givens. He was like, 97.5 Fanatic. Oh, okay. So now I go on your Instagram. This is the phone good for, right? I Google your name. Your broadcast come out. I listen to, I think, April 10th maybe.
Okay.
I listened to a couple shows.
Okay, I appreciate it.
En route from Atlanta to make it.
Yeah.
Right?
I appreciate
and
it.
then I went on your Instagram. I saw that you played with you was doing something with the G League, like you was working out with them or something.
Yeah, so the G League with the Delaware Bluecoats.
Yeah.
They have an open tryout every year. And they have people come in who still have the aspirations of feeling like they can still make it. And whether it's through players that just left college and they are, instead of going overseas, they want to do their thing and see if they can still make it in the G League, maybe a path to the NBA or make it overseas, whatever it might be, but get their foot in the door somehow. So the G League in general, all the G League teams have open tryouts, and they're the Sixers affiliate. And since we are the Sixers broadcast partners, I've known the Sixers people for a long time, and a lot of people who do things with the G League, with the Bluecoats, I've known them. They transition over there to do their part. And they invited me because they wanted to push it a little bit more when they first started it. So they wanted to have some media people out there to kind of let people know what it was.
Right.
Yeah. And they knew I played a little bit because I would play with some of them, and we would have media games and we would have some games where they would. So they knew I played a little bit, and it was a way to also talk about it on the air, let people know, take photos. They would have videos. I would interview players. And so, so they've invited me out, I think, about 3-4 times. Okay. The pandemic hit it and broke it up about 2 years. Right. And it's always fun. And the first time I actually did it, I think we were at, it might have been down McGonigal. Might have been McGonigal. Okay. I think it was McGonigal. And we were playing, and there was a couple of guys who had already played in the G League, and they have certain courts. They have about 3 courts that's set up. The middle court is for the higher level guys.
Gotcha.
All right. These are the guys where the agent called in and said,
right.
All right, I'm not on that level. I think I can run a little bit, but I think I'm not on that level. And I'm really not trying to take anybody's, because these people pay their money to come in and get the actual tryout. Then they have another court that's for maybe a little bit lower level, and then there's the second court that's underneath that middle court.
Okay.
And they put me on that court. Okay. And I held my own.
Okay.
And I did my thing. And I think we made it to maybe the finals of that. When they play, you play a few games, you make it to the finals. And after we were done, I went to a couple of the players and said, "Hey, can I ask you a couple of questions?" Right. But I also had somebody with a video camera to record, and they're like, "Wait a minute," and I'm like, "Well, I'm in the media, and I just wanted to get your experience." And they were like, "Wait a minute." So I held my own, cousin Tracy. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Yeah. So,
but I'm telling you, I had to do my research.
Yeah. So it's cool. I went back this year. It's my first time since I tore my ACL. As you know, in 2019, I tore my ACL playing, and it's always fun. It's always fun because I'm older. These guys are young, but I still feel like I can hang a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, and to go out there and they're playing hard. Right, they paid their money, and they're trying to impress the general manager. They're trying to impress the head coach and all of that, and the owner of the team, and also. So it always feels good to be able to go out there and just play that a little bit. So I appreciate you checking it out.
Yeah, had to. I got to do my due diligence.
And I'm bad on the social media because my daughters. they're always like, Dad, you have to put more up there. And I'm like, that's not my style.
I'm telling you, when I was, you hadn't posted. And then
I don't.
Yeah, and it was like,
it's them telling me.
So how do I like research who he is? Because you got a post from April 22.
Right.
Then you got one from like last week.
Right.
Like, ain't none in between.
No, I'm bad on that.
Then it's just his feet.
Right.
I've seen some of that. He got the feet.
You know,
that's when I get stuff sent to me and I have to.
I understand that.
Share the post. Yeah.
You know, most people, all right, I'll take a picture of my feet, right? But then I'll take a picture of me in the shoes standing up.
It's not my style. Let me show the sneakers. Thank you who sent them to me.
And keep it moving.
And I hope everybody go buy some.
I get you. But
that's how I get the next pair.
Right.
So, but now you know I did my research because I listen.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So
I don't have my kids, that I coach basketball wise, they always like, come on, Coach Bird, can I? Like, nah.
Yeah.
We can have a free throw shooting contest or something. Right. But Coach Bird is not running up and down the court anymore.
I'm bad on it. I'm bad. Yeah, I'm bad. So
I'm not doing that. And then the thumbs is bad. Right. And then little girl threw a ball to me before I had surgery in December. So I'm coaching middle school. Little girl threw the ball at me and I'm and the ball, I can't even catch a pit. Like the thumb is bad.
The jam,
it's
always the worst.
So I was like, you know what? And then when I go back to practice, I got the cast on. I'm like, you know what? Just don't throw no balls at me. Just don't throw no balls at me. Don't throw the balls. Throw it over there.
It's dodgeball.
Right. We get out of here.
Like, I had a student stand next to me. Throw that to her.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah. Let's get into what you do now for a living. Like, how did that start? Like, what you saw somebody doing it and like, I'm gonna do that, or
I listened a lot growing up as a kid. It was one of my things. Of course, you watch all the television shows, the sports shows, and you follow the games on television. And at some point, knowing what sports talk radio was growing up, I had an interest in it. Now, I didn't have an interest in it even in high school. I thought I was going to do it, but I would listen all the time. I never thought I would do television, didn't anything like that. But I definitely didn't think I would do anything as far as the radio goes. And then as things didn't work out in college, and I knew about the Connecticut School of Broadcasting thing, and I would listen all the time, and I would be like, well, no, that's probably wrong. Or I have a retort to that one. And actually, you know what? The stats don't say that. This, and all that. And of my group of friends and even my family, I knew numbers really well. I knew the stats all like that. I would look at the daily news. I would always go to the back of the daily news, look at the statistics and all those types of things. Look at the box score and see how things played out. And then after a while, I wasn't necessarily loving what I was doing as far as the workforce was going. And I said, let me take a shot. And my family, really, really encouraging. My friends, like, go do it. We talk about this stuff all the time.
Right.
If you can make it, maybe you can make it.
Right.
Yeah, so I took the classes at CSB and got the internship at the Fanatic. At that time, it was 950, WPN 950. And found my way in there. And it just gradually started to move up. I got lucky with a couple of the people who took an interest in me. Felt like coming in as an intern, I knew a little bit, and I really caught on with a couple of guys that I was just happy I was able to really link in with. And they took a liking to me, took me under their wing, showed me a lot of things, and we eventually grew to 950 ESPN. It was great to have those call letters behind you now. And started covering the Sixers, even though I wasn't supposed to be. I was still an intern, but they were like, yo, we trust him to go and do it.
That's what's up.
And I was doing it. And then I got in with the Sixers a little bit. And then next thing you know, this was in 2008. So I started there. Rest of the season, it was in February. Then we get to the next season, 2008-2009 campaign. And now I'm kind of in a little bit. And it just went on from there. And then my aspirations were to be on the air after a while. So I just kept thriving and kept doing my work and kept doing what I was doing, weekends, nights, all kinds of stuff. And it was tough. But eventually it paid off and started to get more airtime and on.
And now you have a slot.
And now I have my slot. I've had my slot for a few years now, quite a few years. I've done pregame show for the Eagles, not just basketball. Done Eagles pregame for the last 7 years. Pregame show. I have done the Sixers pregame show for the team and our station because we're affiliated. We're partners, so I do the team's pre and post game show. Do a lot of stuff with the team as well. I've done plenty of during the rebuild era of the Sixers, their draft shows and all kinds of things. So I feel like I'm lucky. I feel like I'm blessed. I know I've worked hard to get to where I am.
Yes.
To do this, and it's been a big time grind.
Right.
And now that I'm here, it doesn't stop because I never feel like I'm saatisated with what I do. So that's how I've gotten there. Staying there. Hopefully I can stay there.
I think
keep rolling. And it's a fun job. It's a cool job. You know how they say do something that you love.
Right. Facts.
I have found something that I love to do.
Because I listen to you all the time.
Yeah, we always communicate. Yeah.
I listen all the time.
I will start listening.
Well, I appreciate it. You did the research first. That's all that matters right there. You did the research first, and I pulled you in a little bit, so I appreciate that. It's basketball's playoff time too, Cousin Tracy. So you got to jump in.
Yeah. Well, her significant other is Alex.
So he is. Please don't mind me saying this. That's my guy. I love that guy. I love him. We've gotten along for so many years, and at first we just pass each other by and just say what's up. Especially when you're two black guys in the arena and you just see each other all the time. You're like, what's up? And then eventually we just started talking. He's like, I listened to your show and I really appreciate how you do your stuff. And I was like, cool, and then we just became really cool, and I appreciate what he does. I love what he does, how he handles himself, how he does things. That is my guy. That's my guy.
Did you tell him we have any more?
Yeah, I told him.
He texted me earlier.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, he did text me earlier.
Ain't that something?
That's what's up.
Was he checking up to make sure I wasn't telling the truth? I gotta see.
No, you just we talk basketball all the time.
Because I'm just saying, because I told him, I said, listen, I'm getting my flight coming at 6:30, but I probably won't get home till a little later because we got Devon Givens coming on. Oh, this guy.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Scratch that.
Scratch that
part. Alex,
leave that on the cutting room
floor.
I
see you on Saturday as we get ready for the games. But no, we talk all the time.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we talk all the time.
Yeah, he all right.
Yeah, I love the guy. I love the guy.
Yeah, so do I. All right, cool. Anyway, feelings mutual. So I am going to tell you this though, in listening to you, on the radio, you have a nice voice. Like
Thank
it
you.
Kind of. It's even. It kind of gets you. You don't lose people. Well, you didn't lose me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Sometimes my attention span ain't right.
Okay.
So you didn't lose me. I was able to listen to it, and
I appreciate that. The tough part with that sometimes is because listen, this is who I am. This is how I've grown up. So it's no surprise that at the time my significant other, my parents, I've always been the laid back one of like my group and all that. So I know that. Sometimes, it can be where a lot of times I have heard overnight where sometimes it's soothing to be able, I'm not yelling at you, I'm not in your face, I'm not in that way. But sometimes, you get those messages, this is just a little too slow for me. It's a little too boring for me. Can't please everybody.
Right,
that's true.
You can't please everybody, but I'm also not going to change because I am who I am.
That part.
And I've gotten here this way too.
Right.
It has worked, and I'm going to stay that way. Now, I can get animated if you take me there. But I'm also animated because of what we're talking about. I love sports.
Right.
I'm naturally going to be into it and engaged in the conversation of what we're discussing because I love what we're talking about. But I also know that this is me. Hey, we're going to talk about this. I'm trying to pour you into my space. And if I can pour you in my space, then I feel really good about being able to do it in a different way of what you're talking about. You hear so much that I do it a lot different than some other people. And I know it's not for everybody, but I still try. I still try to pull you in. I can't make you do it, but I hope you do. I hope you listen in and call in. We can discuss it that way. Tweet at me. I'll tweet. I'm active on Twitter during the show. I read tweets. I tweet back to people. So I try to be engaged in that way too. But hey, cousin Tracy, this is me. They gotta take me as
I'm
is.
cool with it, but you ain't gotta worry about me tweeting. I don't know nothing.
That's all right.
Yeah, she got a account. I tag her and everything.
Yeah, so he'll do it.
She don't respond.
Yeah, he'll do it. He'll be like, cousin Tracy said this.
Right.
All right, cool.
Right. And that's one of the things I was going to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I listen and like. Some of your co-workers, you know what I'm saying, if they don't agree or if the caller is making no sense whatsoever, they'll just bang, get them out of here.
Yeah.
You have a tendency to kind of like keep, pulling them in like so what do you mean by that? Or what are you talking about? What's your point? Like, calm down, what's your point? But now that you just said this is who you are,
right,
I can see how you can remain calm in those
We're having a conversation.
Like, right.
I mean, we've had growing up, all of us, and we've had plenty of debates, and they can get a little heated debates, and you can have those about sports,
right?
Where get out here, we're all in each other's faces, and we're about to go to blows and all that stuff. I'm not trying to fight anybody on the phone. I'm not. I mean, we can yell at each other, but we'd have to. You know what? At the end of the call,
right.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Right.
That's how you end things.
Right.
And yeah, so I'm cool with having a conversation. It's at night a lot of times too, so I give people a little bit more time to talk. Where during the day, a lot of things are, as we talked about before, it's a little more fast paced.
Right.
And at night, I like to just keep people engaged and have those type of conversations. I always want to welcome them back too.
Right.
Like, yeah, he will give you time to talk.
Right.
He will give you time to get my point across. And if whether we disagree or agree, we had a good conversation, and at the end, family game night.
Right.
Right. And family game night, Tracy, a lot of times we'll give our prizes. We'll have fun. We'll have side topics, talk about music, movies, TV, all the kinds of food, whatever it might be. After we yelled at each other for 4 minutes.
Right.
All right, give me this one, and I might have a prize for you. Right? So yeah, man. So again, I've had a lot of my coworkers and my colleagues say, I wish I could handle it the way you handle it sometimes, and so that's a compliment that I do appreciate, knowing that sometimes you may not have the same type of patience that I have, but again, I have patience. That's me.
Nah, definitely. That's what's up. Let's talk a little bit about the national sports guys.
Yeah.
And it's like they always give Philly a bad rap. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, all right, so you tune in, watch a game or two, or incident might happen that makes the national scene. You want to talk about that, and that's the Philly fans. You know what I'm saying? How you feel about these national guys? Like, are y'all like the local sports talk show hosts? Are y'all like versus the national sports talk? You know what I'm saying? Like what's your feelings on that, being in it, because you're there? So
yeah, one thing I do say a lot of times, especially when they go super negative, is I have a tendency of saying stay out of family business, because we not that they don't know,
right?
They're swooping in, they're parachuting in,
right?
And they see what they see in that moment. And some of them do actually watch, and they'll watch multiple games to get a sense of what's going on. But then you have the others that just hang on that clip that they saw of, like, what was that on Wednesday, where at the Phillies game they're throwing hot dogs on the field. Yeah. You can't wait for for something like that to happen. And then the first thing that they'll do is let's go back to the 70s when Santa Claus
with the
batteries and the batteries inside the snowballs. You booed Santa Claus and all that stuff. And it's like, it's kind of corny.
Right.
It's kind of weak because you didn't do what cousin Tracy did. You don't do your research.
Yeah, do your research.
You know what I mean? Do your research on what's going on, and all right, talk about when they're stabbing people in Dodger Stadium.
Right.
Talk about that.
Let's talk about
You talking about snowballs hitting somebody. Talk about stabbing someone out in Los Angeles. Talk about that. Talk about Kansas City burning up some buildings after the Kansas City Chiefs win the AFC Championship game. Speak on that.
Speak on that. Right.
And do your research on what's happening here. So I do sometimes think there is a little bit more. It's a competitive thing from our side.
Okay.
Than the national people, because you know how national they're like, oh, we're national,
right.
You're just your city, You're not on our level. Well, some of us might have the opportunity of doing that. But we may just not. May not want to.
Right.
You want to stay more local, and you want to do it the way you do it. You're having success, and it's all good. I know plenty of people who have had local jobs that have turned down national things.
Got you.
And so I think it's more of where we have ours, where we feel like you have to protect the city and the fan base. Right. Now, you might not agree with a lot of things that the fan base that they do. However, you're not just going to swoop in and start bashing these people.
Like I can bash my own, but you can't.
Stay out of family business.
Stay out of family business.
Right. You know stay out of family business. Yeah. And you know, so that's how I look at it. And I do like national people. We see it growing up, and that's how you still get into sports. You branch out of your local, out of your neighborhood, and you go to the other neighborhoods and see what's going on. But I do like a lot of national people, but I also dislike a good handful of national people.
Now, would you like
not on a personal level, on what I see there, how they do their work. I don't know them. Yeah.
Right. Would you like to go national at some point, or
I'm good. You good? Okay. I'm good. I think I can be successful here. I'll do my.
I think you are successful here.
Well, thank you.
I definitely agree.
I appreciate
2008 to 2023.
I appreciate
that's a nice run.
Thank you.
That's definitely.
Thank you. But again, like I said, I feel like I still have more room to grow, so I feel like I still have so many more things to do that I don't even look at it that way. But and I do take a lot of heat from my inner circle for saying things like that of all of that. We can get to that in a second, but it was just more of how when I do things national, I'll do it. I have people I know that will reach out. Hey, can you do ESPN Radio hit tonight? Can we do that? Sure. Can you do? One of my guys was filling in on the Colin Cowherd show, and I've known him from when I started. He's doing national stuff, so when he had an opportunity, hey, I need you to come on. Can you talk some Sixers? Can you talk NBA playoffs? That kind of thing. So those things, I like doing that. Yeah, I like doing that, and I like doing that. But other than that, again, I'm still focusing on trying to be successful here. And trying to do my thing here more local. I never rule anything out, but I like where I am.
Facts. Hey, man. Well, again, you're doing a great job. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying, and I enjoy.
But and again, just to your point, I'm me, so I don't look at it as I know I've been successful, but I also look at it where I feel like I can be even more successful than what I have here, because sometimes the whole thing of I enjoy it when my family enjoys it more than I enjoy it. Where the stuff that comes with it of people saying nice things. Now, I appreciate the nice things. I'm very, very grateful of those nice things, and I take that stuff in, and it makes me feel good, because it's tough to reach, audiences and where we come from, where I can still reach out in the suburbs and people feel like we can relate in that way. So that stuff is cool. One of the guys out here in Mount Laurel, I was producing. I was an intern. I was producing. So I would answer the phones a lot when the phone calls would come in, get the guys on hold, put them on. And it was this older gentleman. I never forget him. His name is Clark. Older gentleman. I think he was in his late 60s, in his 70s. And he would call in to talk to the host that we had. And he would always say so many really nice things about me and how when I would jump in during the conversation on the air, that he really enjoyed what I was doing. Then when he would call in and want to talk on the air, I would talk to him on the phone for like 2 minutes, and he'd say, you know what? I don't even want to go on anymore. But I always remember him saying that one day you're going to be on the other side.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? And this was a middle-aged man, white man, in Mount Laurel. What has done well in his life. That listens to this kid from West Philly that, we don't sound alike. We sound different. We talk different. But whatever it is that I do, I've been able to reach him.
Right.
And that's the other cool part about it.
That's definitely what's up.
Yeah. We like everybody. You know what I'm saying? we like everybody. Yeah.
That's definitely what's up. Now we got these playoffs coming up.
Playoffs,
you know what I'm saying?
About time.
I know, right?
Goodness.
Season. I don't know. I would love for them to cut down the season a little bit.
I like the 82.
You like the 82?
Yeah,
you like the whole 82?
I think that season's fine, but what got me is I feel like we just ended baseball and it's back. And we're not even done basketball yet.
Well, the Phillies made the long run.
Yeah.
And I get that, but
they
I just
went into
feel
the
like,
basketball season.
Yeah. But they're back again. I think that season could be cut down.
$1.62.
Yeah, it's a lot. That is a lot. Yeah, if anything needs to be cut, maybe let's start there.
$1.62. What would you cut it down to? I mean, you keep it at 100, but what? 100? Do you cut it down to 10? You cut it to 14?
Like no more than 20.
Yeah.
You know
okay.
No more than 20.
So about 130.
Yeah,
but then it wasn't when we were kids. It was 135. I thought.
Was it
135 or 136? Yeah. I thought when we were younger, it was.
Guy.
It was. It was less games.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you know how I know. This goes back to me saying all the time I said in Birdcage, they forget that I'm a woman, right? So I remember saying, I remember saying that, man, if I date an athlete, I would date baseball because for 135 days he ain't home. 365, right? He ain't home.
Yeah.
So I can't go wrong with a baseball dude because it's only like 200 days. I gotta be right. I don't gotta be right 365. I only have to be right for like 2 something.
Yeah.
You can't mess that up.
Cut that in half, a little over half. You can't ruin that.
You can't ruin that.
I hear you.
That's funny. You crazy.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I learned something.
That's good math.
Yeah.
That's good math and relationship advice.
Yeah, relationship advice. You can't go wrong. You don't have that many days to be right.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's true.
Yeah.
So what you are we getting out the second round? That's what I need because you're around the team, you're at practice, you
talk to them. You got like personal. Right. We're doing something this year. We're doing something.
So how are we feeling?
Well, they feel confident. To your point of talking to them, they feel confident that they can do something. Even at the start of training camp, they felt everybody comes into training camp, all 30. Feeling like they can do something, all 30 teams. But you know the real ones that will actually be there in the end. And they feel confident even today. 54-win season. Having to start off, and I'm repeating myself, anybody who's listened to the show or anything, they talk about it because it's a feat. They were 12-12 after 24 games.
Yeah, true.
They ended up 42 and 16 the rest of the way. Best record in the NBA during that stretch. And that's from December 9th, I believe, right around that time, December 9th, that they've won all of those games, 42 games. And that's nothing to just look past.
No, that's true.
Yeah, you had Joel Embiid winning 3 Eastern Conference Player of the Months, a couple of Player of the Weeks in there, Doc Rivers 2 Coach of the Months for the Eastern Conference. And that's nothing to just sneeze at and just look past. That's an accomplishment for where they were, losing their entire backcourt for a good part of November into December, and having to still plug in guys and go in there and pick up the slack and keep it going. And Embiid missed a couple of games during that stretch where he had a little knee issue there. So I think that they've done a lot this regular season that it makes you feel like, to make you believe that they can actually do something. Now, the problem is when you get to Boston, if you get to Boston in the second round, is the fact that you've had your struggles this season. We've talked about that where I thought after game 2, all right, game 3 is a must win because this is a mental thing now, I think, if you can't win. And then they lose on a game winner from Tatum. He hits the 3-pointer, they lose by 3. At home. The next one, they do win, and B has to put up 52. In that one. But they won. So do you feel like something is there? And that's going to be the one. Now, Brooklyn is not going to be easy because Brooklyn, they don't have anything to play for. They're just playing loose and free.
They're just playing.
Exactly. So they're just out there and just let it all hang out. And there's no pressure on them. The pressure is on the Sixers.
Right, definitely.
And the pressure is not only on the Sixers in round 1 when they play Brooklyn, but the pressure is on the Sixers to finally get past that second round. But you can't settle once you get past that second round.
Right.
That can't be a championship.
Right, exactly. Like, that's it. We did it. Right.
Yeah. So you have to.
We want a little bit more.
Exactly, you got to keep going, and I do think that whoever comes out of the Eastern Conference should be the favorite in the finals between Milwaukee, Boston, and Philadelphia. I think they should be the favorite. So they have a chance. Boston be a really good test to say that. All right, you take that deep breath, but only for those couple of days until you start off preparation for the Eastern Conference Finals and get ready for that run. They're that good. I think they're that good. Oftentimes I say it, man, and Cousin Tracy, I say it. They're their own worst enemy.
Got you.
You know how it goes.
Yep.
Your self-inflicted wounds, and you cause those issues, and that has nothing to do with Boston or Milwaukee. That's taking nothing away from them because if they do the same thing, the Sixers are good enough to capitalize on their mistakes. Exactly. But the Sixers are the ones who have made those mistakes to prevent them from getting to where they need to be in these previous playoff runs.
Now, for those that don't know, Mr. Bridges that plays for that the Sixers drafted
2018.
And then now he's in Brooklyn. After that, the Durant trade to Phoenix and whatnot, and he's just gotten better and better. Like from I remember he played at Villanova. I remember him playing there, and you know what I'm saying, and just seeing his stock just rise, and he's just, I mean, I guess he just works at his game, because it's just like, to me, you know, especially being a coach, it's like every year it's just he's getting better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? And I wish he was in a Sixers uniform, but when it comes to that, your cousin, you know what I'm saying? Do you have the Brooklyn Nets jersey underneath of the Sixers jersey? Are you just rooting for him to do well, but the rest of the team not? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that work?
So it was easier in 2021 where he was with Phoenix, and they made it to the NBA Finals. And that year, I thought the Sixers would get to the NBA Finals, number one seed in the East. They lose to the Hawks, we know. Milwaukee beats Atlanta and advances to the Finals. They beat the Suns. That one was way easier to just say, I'm rooting for my cousin.
Got you.
He's in the championship. He's in year 3 of his career. Let's go get this championship.
Right.
And so that was an easy answer. And to be honest with you, right now is an easy answer too, because in this sense, since he's been traded, the dynamic is totally different. The complexion of their team is totally different, but they made it to the playoffs, their playoff team. They're not ready to win, though.
Right.
So for him and that team, I do want them to play well. I want him to average 40 for however long they last in the series.
Right.
But I know it's more, it means more for the Sixers to win right now because of where they are with their franchise player, their head coach, their potential free agent point guard,
right.
their starting forward who has now 1 year left on his deal after this season. There's so many things that can snowball if they lose.
Right, I got you.
And they have an actual chance to win.
Right, I got you.
So I do think that they beat the Nets in 5. Again, I hope my cousin averages 40.
Got you.
He's getting an opportunity to shine and flourish and spread his wings, and I love it. And I love it. And he's answering the bell.
Yeah, that's what I was great to say. He's taking advantage of the opportunity.
He is.
You know what I'm saying?
He is. So that's where, again, it's easy in that sense.
Right.
A little conflicted just because anytime I watch him, I root for his team.
Got you.
And this one is just no rooting interest except for I want him to do well.
Got you.
Should they win?
Right.
Sixers, we got a big time off season to talk about here. We got a problem. But my eyes are set on taking on the Boston Celtics and beating them in round 2 to get advance. So that's where it is for me. I hope he plays well. It's great to see all the attention that he's now getting, even including the national attention, because he deserves it. He works hard. To your question of how he works, he works hard. He works hard, and his ascent is always
right.
I was saying this to somebody actually on the air today on Anthony Gargano's show. Every time he had a chance to just continue to get better, you just naturally get better. He gets better year 3, gets his scholarship to Villanova. He commits to them after his junior year.
Right.
He leaves, goes to college, sits his freshman year, redshirt freshman, comes back year 1 on the floor, year 2 of school. They win the championship.
Right.
He's a big part of it. So that's year 2. Year 3, he's a starter now, and they get knocked out in the Sweet 16 in Wisconsin. I remember that team, Frank Kaminsky, all those guys, Nigel Hayes on that team, all of those guys. And then they get knocked off there. Year 3, they come back, he's a starter again. They all get better.
Right.
And they are running the Big East. They are running college basketball, and they got to where they needed to be against Michigan in that one. Cousin Tracy, they win the second championship. He's small forward of the year in college basketball. He's a prospect in the NBA since they won the first championship. They're paying attention to him. And so I bring that up to high school. There's a certain level because you leave after your senior year.
Right.
College, you can leave after your freshman, sophomore year, all that stuff. So he leaves after his junior year playing, but he was a senior in class, so he got his degree and all that stuff. But in the pros, you just keep going until your career says you can't keep going. So when he's peaking, he's hitting his peak maybe in college. Now it's that next level.
Right.
So you have to kind of start over again. And where he started over, he eventually became a starter in his rookie year. They weren't good, but in year 2, they got better. He's a starter. Year 3, they get better. They go to the finals. He's a starter. He drops 33 in the championship, his career high at that time. And since he's broken that now with 45 his career high. And now he's in year 5 of his career. So again, he's still going up.
Right.
So there's no wall. There's no wall there of the level of your play there. Now you're here and he's doing his thing, and that's the beauty of it. And it's the other good part about it is he was one of the first upperclassmen drafted that year, top 10. You know, so many young guys, freshmen and sophomore, they take them before those guys. And he, it was always, can he get better? Did he reach his ceiling already? Right. Well, if you watch him again, he's gotten better every year. And that's where he is. And it's good to see that Brooklyn loves him. You know, the fans being up there.
Now you been up there a lot?
Yeah, I've only been there twice. I've only been up there twice. The second time I was up there, we thought he was going to break his career high that night, that afternoon, because he had 45 about a week and a half before. He was on pace he started off the first quarter. He was like 9 for 9. First quarter, he dropped like 21 in the first quarter. And we're like,
it's
going about to happen again. And he won. I think he won it with like 38. But the crowd started chanting MVP, and that was cool. That was cool. He has no chance of winning the MVP. Right. But for them to ingratiate himself with that fan base who knew nothing about him except for just coming in one time a season. And they're chanting MVP for him. So that was pretty cool to hear that. So it's a decent atmosphere up there. I hope to get there for the playoffs for the couple of games that they play up there. But him coming home, being able to sit and watch him play here, the love is still there from the Sixer fans, even though he plays for a different team. So that's dope too.
I think everybody on your station is all when his name comes up, it's like, like he should be in the Sixers. And
I try to, I try to deflect it because at this point, it's like I don't know what else to say anymore. I appreciate it. We're good in Phoenix. And now we're good in Brooklyn. And he's good, and that's the most important thing. That he's good, and as long as he's good, we're good. Yeah, I was disappointed just like everyone else. We were all disappointed. He was disappointed.
I'm sure,
but he got over it quickly. And he adapted it. And this is a business. They will trade you. They will move you. Yeah, but he's good.
Quickly.
He's very quick.
In the words of expeditiously.
Well, listen, it was very expeditiously because he got traded in 20 minutes after he was drafted.
Hey, that's something.
20 minutes after he was drafted.
Bob Cooney, who I've worked with one of his good friends. I think I told you that before.
Yes, you did.
But he said, was it today? It might have been today earlier. But he was just telling the story how he was covering the Sixers and he was writing a column or writing a story about when your cousin got drafted, and he said he was locked in, so he didn't even know about the draft yet until he was about to submit it, and they was like, "You ain't hear about the trade?"
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh,
20 minutes after it happened. 20 minutes after it happened. Crazy. So, but hey, he got drafted.
Yeah, he got drafted.
Put in perspective,
and he's
did something that we all wanted to do, and he did it. So we were like, the Phoenix Suns fans now. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So it's cool though. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this series. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah.
Now, before we get out of here, future plans. You got any future plans off the top, or you just I'm just going to ride this ride and see where it takes me?
Yeah, I'm gonna ride this one out, see where it goes. I've been able to do other podcasts as well off of this type of stuff. Locked On 76ers with Keith Pompey of the Enquirer, who's been covering the team for 10 years also. So he and I have a podcast that we do. So just branching out a little bit in that regard. Like I said, I do things with the team, not just with the station, but since we're affiliates and we're partners, I'm on the basketball side of things with them for our station. And some of the others do things also, but I do a lot more because I do pre and post and I do some other things on the .com sometimes, with them. So some of those things. So. No, I'm good where I am. Just always trying to just continue to branch that out.
Gotcha.
If that makes sense, just trying to branch that out. But again, you never say no to certain. You never close things off. You just don't know. You never know what could happen. But I'm happy with where I am.
That's what's up.
I fill in from time to time on the different day parts, morning, afternoons, and
you're always on the radio. Like it's just because I just flip it on because really that's all I listen to. I got that from my dad. Growing up, my dad always I ain't understand it then. Like where is the music?
Right.
Like so you mean we're just listening to the radio and
guy
just
talking.
Talk?
Yeah. Guy.
But that's how I got into it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just he's like, and it's funny too because outside of your slots or whatever, just just random times I flip it on and he's on there. I turn on the best show ever and there's Devon. You know what I'm saying?
On the TV side, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're definitely doing your thing over there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
We just want you. And listen, we appreciate you taking some time out your business schedule.
Yes, finding time for us. We appreciate it.
Nah, you've always been good. And from the first time we linked up.
Yes.
That chance connection and coming out to hang out at Fan Fest.
Yes. And, he's came to a couple of my games. You know
I came to the game. Yeah, came to the game. Yeah.
Definitely what's up. Got any shout outs, you know what I'm saying, before we get out of here?
Well, I just hope everybody can listen, of course, on 97.5 The Fanatic, 6 to 10 Monday through Friday. Also wrapped around the Sixers basketball during hockey season, wrapped around the Flyers also. And so just check me out there on Twitter, Devon G 975. On Instagram, I think it's DEVON.GIVENS. That's what my daughter set it up as. So on Twitter, on Instagram, So please, I apologize for not many posts on there. Photos, I'm not very photogenic. I'll show my sneakers.
Well,
I'll show the scoreboard or whatever I'm doing at the games and all that. So just tune in. We got a big playoff run, and we think it's going to be a deep one. So check it out. And if you're in the arena. On Saturday, I'll be broadcasting on the concourse.
Okay.
From noon to 1, right up to tip-off. And then on Monday for Game 2, I'll be there 6 o'clock for the pregame. And then postgame, I'll be back on the concourse also. So hope to see everybody there, and that's where you can find me. Everybody have a great weekend and enjoy the weather.
Yes, it's been
and
lovely.
Make sure you always tune into the Birdcage with Coach Bird and Cousin Tracey.
We appreciate it.
Yeah. So appreciate it.
We appreciate it. That's what's up. So again, just thank you, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you both for having me. It's been fun.
It was a good time. You know what I'm saying? Got to learn a little bit more about Devon Givens.
You know
what I'm saying? And all the wonderful stuff he's doing, man. Just continue much success. You know what I'm saying? And you best believe we'll be tuned in.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate it.
We'll be definitely tuned in. The bowling starts Sunday, I think.
Sunday,
yeah. What's it called? Bowling for a purpose?
Bowling for a purpose.
Yeah.
Okay.
We definitely got to talk about that. See if we're going to get out there and throw some
strikes?
Hopefully.
Uh-oh.
I think my average is like 80, 84.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. What's your average?
Uh-oh. Are we not bowlers here?
Nah, we're not bowlers. You bowl?
Yeah, I do.
Oh yeah? Yeah.
That was one thing that my dad had me doing young, just as something else to do.
Okay.
And it's funny because my parents were in the bowling league and they were actually really good. They had their own balls and shoes and stuff.
I got a ball.
But we, at one point, Camden had a bowling alley on Mount Ethan Avenue, and bowling was the thing for our community. But then once they got rid of the bowling alley, where we going to bowl at? So we skated.
Yeah.
Got you. That I can't do. That I can't do.
We had 2 skate rings at one point.
Yeah, we did. Yes, we did. You know what I'm saying?
Bowling is fun. Yeah, we do that with my kids. We take the kids go out.
We go.
Okay. Yeah,
we have fun.
It's a fun outing.
Right, it is
fun.
It is.
I'm not doing it to kind of look like I know what I'm doing because I don't.
Oh, I am. I'm trying to win.
Yeah, I can see
it against the kids. Oh, you're going down.
You're going down.
I've been trying to win, but I really, really suck. I really.
All right, we gotta get out there.
So that's this Sunday. And we'll make sure the info's up on there. Shouts out to Big Bro Orlando and Bill. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice thing that they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And you can't beat the price either. You get like practice time and 3 games
for like
$12.50.
$12.50 something like that. Yeah,
that's a steal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
might have to come over here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
On a Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday morning was like, I think it's like 10:30, I believe.
That's another problem.
The getting up early part. Yeah.
You gotta get up.
That's kind of early. I'm with you, Cousin Tracey. That's kind of.
You gotta get up.
It's kind of early.
I almost forgot.
After a long week, right?
Got some party.
And my weeks are long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you gotta get
guys.
Got the Birdcage
hoodie. Oh man,
you know
got the hoodie.
And The T-shirt.
The merchandise. Look at that. Oh, folks. Oh, this is dope. Make sure you guys go get the Birdcage merchandise.
Yes, please. Hit me up. Continue to hit me up. A lot of folks been hitting me up for the hoodies and the T-shirts and all that. Definitely.
Nah, thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
This is dope.
I
wear this when I'm on one of the shows.
There we go.
Put it on.
And we would appreciate it.
Yes.
Doing the TV? Okay.
That's it. We would love it. We would love it.
We would appreciate it.
We would love it.
All right. I appreciate that.
That's what's up. What you got, cuz?
So I'm just going to end by saying this. First off, thank you again. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I was away this week, and I just need everyone to know and focus in on be grateful, right? Be thankful for what you got and how you living. Because when you go other places, what we think is bad ain't half bad at all. So just when you think your situation is worse, there's somebody out there whose situation is much worse. So just relish in that and always be grateful, be thankful, and just know you're blessed.
I call it a closer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When we first started doing this, I would always go last, but she would say her piece, and then I'd be like, I ain't got nothing else to say after that. So we had to switch roles.
No,
I'm the middle reliever. She's the closer now.
That's cool.
Because you know why? People are watching. I just want to affirm things finishing through our conversation. Just let them know, like, be grateful, right? You know what I mean? You gotta finish with a little affirmation.
100%.
No,
everybody needs a little of that.
It's a great close right there. It's a great close. Yeah.
Well, what's that? Let me get it right. Episode 92.
92.
92 in the books. You know what I'm saying? Once again, our special guest, DEVON Givens. You know what I'm saying? The lovely Cousin Tracy, fresh off the plane from Atlanta.
Tune in to 97.5.
Please do. 97.5 The Fanatic. You know what I'm saying? All day. You know what I'm saying? Especially 6 to 10.
Especially
you know
6 to 10, yeah.
Make sure you check that out. And hey, once again, I'm Sechuayo, a.k.a. Coach Bird. I'm the host of the BYRDCAGE Show, and we'll talk to you soon. Yes, indeedy.
It was a stone groove, my man.